Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. You can switch on your cameras, Ayansh, Nesha.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, Ayansh.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am fine.
Okay. We will wait for just 2 minutes. Let's see how more friends join. Okay. Then
Okay.
we'll start with class. Okay. So you can mute now, Ayansh. You can mute
Okay,
yourself.
ma'am.
Let's start now with the first chapter, which we are going to start today is your plants, as the demo was also there on plants only. So we will now study as our new topic now, that is plants. So as I told you earlier also, but we don't consider that because some have not attended the demo also. So plants topic, we understand. Don't write anything right now. First understand. Main, you are here to understand the concept. Okay. Now plants, we all around us, we see plants. Yes, there are big plants, there are small plants, there are big leaf plants, there are small leaf plants. Yes, there are water plants, there are plants on the land. So everywhere we see plants. On mountains also there are plants, in deserts also there are plants. So everywhere there are plants. Understood this much? Yes. And plants are very, very important to us. Why they are important? Because they give us food, isn't it? They give us food, and also they give us oxygen. We are breathing in oxygen and we are giving out carbon dioxide. So plants, they are very, very useful to us because they have many uses, but I am taking a very, very important uses, two uses. One is that the plants give us food, and the second is that the plants give us oxygen. Oxygen is a gas which we breathe. Is this much clear? Give a thumbs up when I will ask, is it clear? Please give a thumbs up. Okay, good. So that I can move forward. Okay. So plants, they are all around us, I can say. In water, water formula is H2O. Remember that. This is the formula for water. In water, on land, everywhere there are plants. And plants give us mainly two things. One is the food and the other one is oxygen. Oxygen, it is a gas which we breathe. Understood till here? Okay. Now we see that we divide. Okay, this is the general information which I have given you about plants as we are starting the topic. But if I want to divide the plants, like there are so many plants, there should be some division, isn't it? So I want to divide the plants. So I am going to divide the plants into so many categories. Let's see what are that categories. Number one is herbs. Number two is the shrubs. Number three is the trees. Number four is the climbers. Number five is the creepers. Yes. Number six is the wild plants. Number seven is the water plants. And number eight is the grasses. Is this division clear? Yes. Okay, I want all of you to make at least this. You should know that which topics, because all these topics we are going to complete in today's class. What are these? Okay, so herbs, shrubs, trees. Write down fast, please. And you have to be little bit fast in writing if you want to write. Climbers, creepers, wild plants, grasses, and water plants. So this all we will cover in today's class. Vedansh written?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Krishna done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ayansh done?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do it.
Ma'am, you have to write this.
That is why I'm waiting. I told that please draw this much so that you know what we are doing in today's class. This only I told Krishna. Done, Nisha?
Finish.
Okay. Okay. Thumbs up is good. Okay. Coming to the first one, which I'm taking is herbs. Okay. So what are herbs? First understand. Herbs are what? Herbs are actually very small plants are known as herbs. Okay, remember that. Very small plants are known as herbs. Their height is very, very short. Okay. Secondly, in herbs, usually comes that the herbs, they are medicinal plants. They have some medicinal values. Medicinal values, you understand? Means if there is some cut or you want to cure any disease, so it is used in that. So herbs have the medicinal use. Secondly, the herbs. Yes, beta, Tulsi, but you don't have to speak like this. You have to raise your hand. Okay, otherwise I am interrupted in between. Okay, beta. Okay, so the first thing is that they have medicinal values. Yes, for example, the neem, tulsi are there. Secondly is that they have flavors. Okay, like for example, kasturi methi. They have flavors, smell. Your mother might be using in your kitchens also. Okay, so these are the herbs. So herbs, they are very small plants and they grow for one season only. Okay, one season. Is that clear? Few months. You can say few months. They grow for few months and they are very small plants and very small branches they have. Very small, not much branches. Okay. So we can say they are very small plants and they grow for few months only. And if we talk about their stem is soft, thin and green stem. Okay, their stem is soft, green and thin stem they have, and they are also used for your medicines, can be used in medicines also. And example, you can have mint, that is your pudina, grass. Understood this much? Okay, coming to shrubs. Now, what are shrubs? Shrubs are the plants which are, means they have more height than herbs. Okay, they have more height. And also they are also called bushy. Bushy means they have so many branches, so they are known as bushy also. Okay, so shrubs, they have the height more than, or their length is more than herbs. Okay, they are called the smaller plants, called the shrubs. and they have bushes, and they have thin and woody stem, and they have many branches also, I told you just now. Example can be your rose and cotton plant. There are many more examples. You can learn all that. Okay, when you will read the content, you can learn more examples also. Is that clear? Any doubt in herbs and shrubs? Please give a thumbs up if you have understood the concept. Herbs are small plants and they live for only one season. Their stem is very thin, green and soft, and they can be used in medicines also. Shrubs, they are bigger than herbs. Also, they are bushy. Next, they have their woody and thin stem. And fourth, they have many branches. Understood? Clear? Ayansh, clear? Pratyush, you joined just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so understood herbs and shrubs?
Yes, ma'am.
Pratyush, I'm asking Pratyush. Not answering. Okay, so I'm deleting now. So we covered the two topics. One is herbs and the other is shrubs. Now we come to trees. Trees, as the name suggests, they are huge plants, long, huge plants, very big plants. Okay, so very big plants are known as trees. Then they have branches. Yes, from the upper part of the tree or upper part of the stem, they have branches from there. Okay, they have many branches. Then their stem is hard, thick, brown, also known as, anyone can tell me the other name of this stem? Raise your hand, raise your hand. The other name for the stem of the trees. Yes, Krishna.
Ma'am, it is trunk.
Trunk, yes, also known as trunk. Very good. Then they live for many years. Clear? Example can be your mango tree and your peepal tree, coconut tree. These are all the examples of the trees. And one important thing, that the banana plant is the biggest herb. Remember that. Banana plant is the biggest herb. You can write this is an important line. Okay. Done. Shall we move forward now? Okay. So we are covered with herbs, we have covered with shrubs, we are covered with trees. Any doubt till here? Clear? Okay. Now we move to another one, that is climbers and creepers. The two I'm taking together. See what happens in climbers and creepers. Both these are having the weak stem. See, for example, you imagine if our legs are weak, we stand on our legs, everyone stand on their legs. If our legs are weak, what will happen? Nesha, what will happen if our legs are weak?
We need support.
We need support to walk. Yes, we will have a stick in our hand to walk, or we will always lie down. We will be very lethargic. Yes, in the same manner, if the plants are there, the plants, they will stand upright with the help of a stem. Okay, stem, with the help of a stem, they stand upright. If their stem is weak, what will happen? They will also fall down like us. Okay, so in both climbers and creepers, what happens? Their stem is weak. Their stem is weak. So what happens if their stem is weak? Creeper means the stem is weak, so this plant, it creeps on the ground. Creeps on the ground means like a snake. How snake moves? Like this it moves. Yes, it is creeping on the ground. In the same manner, these creepers are the plants that creep on the ground like a snake, like start growing like this on the ground. Okay, example like pumpkin, as these are the fruits which are very heavy. Yes, they cannot stand, and the weak stem is there. Creepers have weak stem. Pumpkin, watermelon, these are the examples of the creepers. They are just creeping on the ground. Coming to climbers, as the name suggests, they also have weak stem. Climbers, as the name suggests, climb like lizard climbs on the wall. In the same manner, these plants, they require any support. And when they get any support, they start climbing on the support. Climb on the support. Now a question comes, ma'am, if a creeper gets a support, then they can also climb? No, the answer is no. They will only creep on the ground. They will never climb. If they get any support also, they will not climb. So climbers will only climb when they find any support. A very common example you might have in your home also, that is the money plant. Is this much clear? Climbers and creepers. Creepers which creep on the ground. Okay, they have weak stem which can they creep on the ground, and the climbers, they also have a weak stem, but they can climb when they find any support. Money plant, grapevine, these are all the examples of the climbers. Okay, now we move to, yes, Krishna?
Yes, ma'am. May I tell the reason why creepers creep on the ground?
Yes, you can tell.
Okay, ma'am. Climbers, they do not have really heavy fruits. That's
Yes.
why they can climb.
Yes.
Whereas creepers bear really big, heavy fruits. So, like pumpkin is really heavy,
Heavy.
and watermelon is also
Also
very
heavy. Yes, definitely.
That's why they cannot climb even if they get a support.
Support,
That's why
yes,
they creep on the ground.
Yes, very correctly said, as they have heavy fruits. So if they find any support also, they cannot climb on that support due to their heaviness of the fruits. So that is why they continuously creep on the ground. Good. Next we come to water plants. As the name suggests, water plants are what? Which grow in water. They are water plants. Yes, or we can say aquatic plants. They are also, the other name is aquatic plants also. So these plants, water plants or aquatic plants, please don't write. First understand. You are here to understand first. Writing is a secondary thing. Everything is there in the content. Okay. See, water plants are the plants which grow in water. Definitely, their other name is aquatic plants also. Secondly, these water plants, some plants are totally inside the water. Okay. Some plants are totally under the water. They are known as submerged water plants. Some plants are floating on the water. They have floating leaves. They are known as floating plants. I repeat again, water plants are the plants which grow in water. They are also known as aquatic plants. Next is that there are some plants which are totally under the water. They are known as submerged plants. And there are certain plants which are floating in the water. They are known as the floating plants. Understood? For example, lotus, they have floating leaves, they are floating flowers, and there is hydrilla, which is completely submerged. Okay, these are the names of the plant. Is that clear? And these water plants, where they can grow, they can also grow on the edges of the ponds and lakes. You might have seen also on the, near the walls, they are growing. Yes, these kind of plants. So water plants, they first of all also called as aquatic plants. Next is that they grow in water. Water, this is the formula for water. Always remember, I'll write always H2O. That is the formula for water. Okay, then there are some plants which are floating. Floating leaves. For example, lotus, water hyacinth. These are the examples of the plants which are floating, and the other is submerged. Completely submerged under water means it is underwater. For example, there is hydrilla and tape grass. These are the examples of the plants which are totally underwater, and these are the examples of the plant which are floating. Nisha, you can just write the heading, at least you can write the example or something, so that when you are revising, so you should remember what we have done in the class. Okay. Maybe you write little bit, you write something. Okay. Because in every next class, I always ask first the questions. First 5-7 minutes are of questions. Okay. So in next class, I'm going to first ask you what we have done in our previous class. So you all should answer my questions. There are many more examples which you can read from the content. Okay. Any spelling, any word you are not able to read, you can raise your hand and ask me. Okay. Now the next category which we are doing is the wild plants. Okay. Wild plants. Wild plants, as the name suggests, what do you mean by wild plants? Anyone can tell me? Raise your hand. Medansh, you tell me what are wild plants?
That grows in jungle.
Okay, that grows in jungles, or in other words, we can say that can grow anywhere. Okay, we are not growing it properly, isn't it? They are growing anywhere. From inside the wall also they are growing. They are growing on the sides of ponds and lakes also. That is not grown by any human. Is that clear? And we are also not taking care of that plant. That is a wild plant. So wild plants, they can grow anywhere. Understood? They can grow anywhere. And they grow naturally. We are not growing it. And they do not require any human care. Who are humans? Krishna, who are humans?
We are humans.
We are
humans.
humans. Yes, but I asked Krishna, Medansh, okay? So you have to be on mute when I asking someone. Okay, so they are, for example, periwinkle plant. I'll show you just now in the slide. Don't worry. Banyan tree. These are the examples of the wild plants. Please lower your hands. So these are wild plants. Now only one is left, that is grasses. All other we have done. Next is grasses. Grasses, you all have seen the grasses. Obviously, they cover the land. Yes, they can grow anywhere. They can be small also. They can be very, very tall also. Grasses can be. Okay, in the fields, like in the fields, there are long, long grasses and they have very narrow leaves. Okay, long and narrow leaves. And bamboo is the tallest grass. Remember it. Okay, bamboo is the tallest grass. So it grasses is to cover the ground or lawn. Yes. And have long and narrow leaves. They can grow very tall. And bamboo is the tallest grass. Remember, this is the important line. So with this, we covered all the categories of the plants. Like we have started with that the plants can be divided into herbs, shrubs, trees, creepers, climbers, wild plants, aquatic plants, and grasses. All 8 categories I have discussed with you. Yes, Krishna?
Ma'am, may I tell another fact about bamboo?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Bamboo is also the tallest grass and it is the fastest growing plant in the whole world.
Yes, yes.
It can grow almost 1 meter, that is 3.28 feet in only one single day, or 91 centimeters.
Okay, okay, that's good. You know, you have a good knowledge. Yes.